when we came together as a team, you know, we believe we had the two best athletes in the world and the best coach. You know, so we had a great starting point. And what Darren was really good at was the kind of management side of us on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, being very clear about the attention to detail side of what we were trying to improve. Like, it was very clear for me and Zach what we need to do as athletes, and he made it very clear by having different targets, you know, working towards constantly. And that's why I think a coach is more of a manager. You know, they don't have to, if you're working with great athletes, you're just trying to make sure that their experience and insight is actually used, rather than, you know, some coaches like to crush it and tell you what they know rather than getting the insight from the athlete.
I think the biggest person I got my confidence from was my coach, Amanda. She believed in me from the day I walked through the door when I was 12 years old. She was willing to work hard with me. She was willing to give me everything, and I just loved that. I wanted to be able to show her how good I was, what I was able to do, and she believed in me. If I had a slight doubt, I can't do this, I'm not quite sure I'm ready for this, she would sit me down, she would talk it through with me. The biggest thing I would say for a great coach is learning the individual. I've worked alongside a lot of coaches throughout my career, and the one thing that I credit to Amanda for my success, and not just my success, she had a lot of gymnasts that were very successful, is the fact that she knew us as a person. She understood that obviously I was growing up throughout my career, I would have a life away from gymnastics as well as a life within gymnastics, and she knew me as a person. I wasn't just another gymnast to her, I was Beth the gymnast, and she would do anything to try and help me achieve what I wanted to achieve.
A coach is very differently suited to different personality types of athletes, and you know, I feel like most coaches have to be good at understanding emotion, because athletes are very emotional, and coach has to stay really logical when athletes are going through the emotions, because it levels them out and it helps them feel comfortable more often.
I think a view of the wider picture of being like, yeah, you know, I'm here to advise and recommend, but at the end of the day, it's the athlete's decision, and they've got to have the accountability for that decision, and they stand on the start line. You know, so effectively, it's about the athlete and not about me. You definitely see some coaches who, you know, it's as much about building their persona and their ego than it is the athlete. I think it's also important to kind of allow the athlete the breathing space to explore and work out how they want to do it. You know, you can be the job of the coach is to be the guiding hand, and whether that is the really heavy you know, steel rod of this is exactly what you're doing day in, day out, or it's a much lighter touch. You know, there has to be some wiggle room in there somewhere that the coach is allowing the athlete to explore and making their own decisions along the way.